It was around 1 a.m. when Ken McGill, a truck driver, left Forest, Illinois, heading north on I-57. The highway stretch ahead was silent and empty as he passed exit 349 and approached a bridge. That's when something unusual happened. As he drove under the bridge, he caught a glimpse of a white figure in the corner of his eye. At first, he dismissed it as his imagination, but he had to recheck, and when he glanced at his passenger side mirror, he froze. A figure dressed in what looked like white scrubs appeared near the back of his trailer. Turning to his driver's side mirror, he saw it again, now at the end of the trailer. It didn't feel like a trick of the light. Something about it felt real and unsettling. Curious and unnerved, he later reviewed the footage from his dashcam. What he saw sent a chill down his spine. The figure was there, faint and almost transparent, standing in the middle of the road. It hadn't walked in from the side or emerged from the shadows. It simply appeared after another truck had passed. What made the experience even stranger was the complete lack of explanation. The area surrounding the highway was nothing but ditches, with no nearby roads or cars. The closest exit was half a mile back. For someone to be standing in the road at around that time seemed impossible. To add to the mystery, his dashcam's GPS malfunctioned during the event, something that had never happened before. The location data for that stretch of highway simply didn't exist. The driver wasn't one to believe in ghosts or paranormal phenomena, but this experience left him shaken. Whatever the figure was, it didn't feel like something of this world. But if the figure on the road could still resemble a human being, then what was this? The incident bore similarities to a previous, equally unexplainable story, yet the setting this time was entirely different. The driver was focused on the seemingly endless road ahead, his grip firm on the wheel. Suddenly, something appeared at the edge of his vision, a shape darting from the side of the road. It happened so quickly that there was barely time to process it. The shadowy figure, undefined and impossible to describe, materialized just long enough to be seen before disappearing into the darkness. Though his mind raced, he did not slow the car to investigate. The thing he had glimpsed defied explanation, and the thought of going back to confirm its presence sent a shiver down his spine. Would you have turned back to investigate? Or would you, like him, have kept driving, leaving the unexplained to the shadows? Late one night, a group of friends ventured onto Route 666, a remote highway infamous for its eerie legends. The road was desolate, wrapped in darkness, and silent except for the hum of their car. They had heard chilling stories about ghosts and strange phenomena but brushed them off as superstition, until things began to feel very real.
And there's nobody here. If we see anything abnormal, we'll tell you. But for now, let's just ride 666.
As they passed under a bridge, the car sputtered and stalled without warning. The headlights dimmed and an icy chill settled inside. The driver turned the key repeatedly, but the engine refused to start. Then they noticed something unusual ahead, a faint figure standing in the road. It glowed faintly, appearing dressed in white. Before they could react, the figure disappeared, only to reappear closer to the car, watching silently from the roadside. Although they are speeding away, the figure lingered in the rearview mirror, seemingly watching them leave. The eerie events continued as strange red lights appeared in the distance, floating unnaturally above the ground. The air began to smell of burning, and faint whispers seemed to rise from the empty fields around them. At one point, the car's air conditioning turned on by itself, blowing icy air despite no one touching the controls. It only got more creepy when they sighted a signboard with the number 13. In most cultures, this number is an unlucky one starting from the age-old history of Judas, the disciple who betrayed Jesus. It was believed that he was the 13th guest at the Last Supper in the Bible. They have the right to be scared knowing this, but these folks just can't stop screaming. And the car dies again.
Okay, I don't know what that means. 13! 13! 13! That's not unlucky. That's an unlucky number, dude. I'm gonna zoom into that. Hey, what's going on here?
All I got here. They said
Wait, why does the car keep dying?
The tension rose as they passed an old decaying house with a foreboding sign. No trespassing, we shoot. A loud bang suddenly echoed in the distance, startling them, and the car jerked as if struck by an unseen force. The driver pressed on, though the car felt barely functional. It got to a point they had to let the unknown, disturbing them, know that they weren't there to hurt.
We don't wish to harm. No. The environment, no. Nothing harmful.
Okay.
Please allow us to start.
The final stretch of the road led them up a steep hill. The engine malfunctioned as the oppressive air grew heavier. At the top of the hill, they were met by a chilling sight. Several ghostly figures stood motionless by the roadside, watching as the car crept forward. The friends didn't dare stop. Finally, the haunted road released them and the car returned to normal. But whatever haunted, Route 666 was not something they wanted to confront again.
Okay. Okay, we got light now. What the fuck?
This next footage seems to have been meant for the right person, as if the ghost intentionally chose to appear before the police officer. The officer, likely out on a routine night patrol, might have assumed his shift would be uneventful, ensuring everything was calm and under control. However, unknown to him, his dashcam was capturing something far beyond the ordinary. As the footage rolls, a figure, faint and almost translucent, suddenly appears in the middle of the road. The officer's car seems to pass right through it, giving the unsettling impression that the vehicle has hit something, yet there is no sound, no impact. Startled, the officer stops the car and quickly turns around to investigate. What happens next is even more bizarre. The same ghostly figure reappears just moments later, moving freely down the road as if undisturbed by the encounter. The spirit, shrouded in mystery, doesn't seem bound by the laws of the physical world. Whether it was a coincidence or something deliberate, the way the ghost manifested, right in the path of the officer, leaves viewers wondering, was it simply wandering, or did it have a purpose in making itself seen? The officer's dash cam, in this case, did more than record a quiet night. It captured something that defied explanation. The next one here made us know ghosts can scare the hell out of anyone, no matter the race. This incident happened in Malaysia, to be precise near the Klang Gate Dam in Taman Melawati, Kuala Lumpur. The name of the road is Jalan Kolam Air, literally means water pond road, and a lot of suicide cases were reported there back in the 80s. There have been a lot of sightings reported in these areas, but probably this became the first time it was recorded on video. These two men weren't speaking English, so let me translate their conversation. They were clearly on their way to meet friends who had likely arrived earlier. Though parts of their dialogue were inaudible, their tone and mannerisms made it seem authentic, far too natural for them to be fabricating anything. The pair drove along a desolate road in the dead of night. The driver gripped the steering wheel tightly, weighed down by the knowledge that he had only learned about the meeting at the last moment. His companion in the passenger seat was equally uneasy. The rushed nature of their mission irritated him, and his frustration simmered just beneath the surface. The road stretched ahead very dark, and the air in the car seemed to grow heavier with each passing mile. The first man couldn't shake the feeling that something was off, that the people they were supposed to meet weren't as reliable as they should have been. He mulled over their behavior, uneasy, as though he knew they had already taken a step they hadn't disclosed. He considered the possibility that they were already up ahead, waiting in the shadows, their intentions unclear. The quiet in the car was interrupted by static crackling from the radio. The second man shifted uncomfortably, his gaze fixed on the dark road ahead. The static deepened, and then, faint and chilling, the sound of a woman's voice humming a lullaby seeped through the speakers. The tune was soft but haunting, each note piercing the eerie quiet of the night. The first man's foot faltered on the gas pedal. The car slowed slightly, his attention caught by something on the road ahead. A figure emerged from the darkness, a woman standing motionless in the middle of the path.
Wait.
Her pale silhouette was just visible in the dim glow of the headlights, her face obscured by shadows. His companion noticed her at the same time, his breath catching in his throat. The tension in the car thickened. The radio hummed louder, the lullaby mixing with the static, creating an otherworldly soundscape that filled the enclosed space. But do you know why I love these guys most? The way they reverse so fast. Which clip sent chills down your spine? Share your thoughts in the comment section below.